Welcome everybody, good afternoon. Welcome to MCHS, the Nook 111 live stream. I'm your host, Brent Edwards, and today we have our guests, Dr. Swimke, our building principal, and we have Joe Passetti, the Director of Student Services. They're here to share information and updates regarding the Return to Learn plan, student services, self-certification, and we'll also try to fit in some questions throughout the process that you want to submit via Facebook and YouTube. So let's get this thing started here. Thank you again for attending this afternoon. Dr. Swimke, last night at the Board of Education meeting, the board voted to approve the most recent updates on the Return to Learn plan. Please share with us some of those updates and like who's coming back and what that means to our students and our families.
Sure. Well, good to see you again, Brent, and welcome Joe Passetti here. Appreciate that you've taken some time to jump in and talk about your role and how you support kids and staff around here. We're excited for you. So I'll cede a lot of my time to the gentleman, Mr. Passetti. But quickly, I'll run through what was approved the other night. The instruction team has been working really well under the direction of Dr. Grzetich. That group has kind of revised the hybrid learning schedule. So basically, kids will come in on Mondays and Tuesdays, the first half of the alphabet. On Wednesday, it will be a remote learning day for all students. And then Thursday and Friday of that week will be students for the back half of the alphabet. We are anticipating all of our students back to in-person learning on Monday, October 19th. There's a lot of work to do in between now and then. But they will be getting those kind of organized and getting ready instructionally. Our teachers will be getting ready instructionally, and we'll be ready to go on October 19th to everybody in Group 1 on Monday and Tuesday, and Group 2 on Thursday and Friday.
Nice. It's exciting times. Exciting stuff.
Absolutely.
Mr. Passetti, so when kids are coming back, I understand that you have some students that will be coming back October 5th. Share with me that news and what's that going to look like?
Well, currently we already have some students coming back. Mr. Wyckoff and Ms. Solomon, assistant principals at each building, have been working with our student support teams and identifying students that have been struggling. And we have been bringing in some small groups of students at this point. Our reach department, special ed reach department, has also been bringing in students on an individual basis to get some services. So we do have some students already back into the building. But on October 5th, we are bringing back or proposing for any IEP parent that wants to bring their student in, that they can come in starting on October 5th. And we have a schedule running from the 5th to October 16th, where our students can come in and run through part of their schedule and get some extra support and for the academics, social emotional. Wednesday is still going to be a remote day. We're trying to mimic what the hybrid schedule is going to look like starting on October 19th. We're providing transportation for those students if needed. It's going to be a full day. There'll be lunch involved also. So it really gives our freshmen, more specifically our freshmen, that opportunity. They haven't been in school since March. They don't know what Minooka High School really feels like to be in the building, to be in the classroom. So for our freshmen, it's going to be a great experience. Also, our sophomores, obviously juniors and seniors who have IEPs, given an opportunity to get that extra help academically. Our special ed teachers have been working on a plan, been working closely with them actually since the summertime. But things have changed with schedule, and obviously we're in the middle of a pandemic and trying to follow guidelines. We've had some challenges, but we've got a great special ed team. Our teachers are awesome. We're looking forward to getting some kids back into the building and seeing some faces and really building those relationships that can be really difficult to build virtually.
Thank you. So, Dr. Swimke, Mr. Passetti mentioned about Wednesday being the full remote day, and you mentioned it as well earlier here with the question about Return to Learn plan. And I see some of the questions coming in, and might be a good opportunity to just talk about that Wednesday and what that remote looks like. And I think one of the questions, can students stay remote if they had selected remote? And so,
sure. So what was suggested and approved really is a great choice for families. So if families had selected remote, remote only learning will stay. If families have selected hybrid, they're already there, and they'll be in group 1 or group 2. If you don't remember what you selected, a couple things that you can do. One, you could look at Power School, and next to your child's name, there should be a little remote icon. It looks like a little laptop. You are set for remote learning. We're not changing that. If you are struggling with that and would like to reach out to somebody, Mr. Passetti, would you say like Mr. Wyckoff or Ms. Solomon, or would it make most sense for them to reach out to Dawn Lear at district office?
I think that would be the best.
Okay, yes. So reach out to Dawn Lear, DLEHR at MCHS.net. She can help you confirm. First step is just to go into Power School and see if there's a laptop icon near you. Then you know that you're remote. What we're excited for kids to come back, but we also have to recognize that there are families, there's 650 families that chose remote instruction for their families. And we're going to make sure that those 650 families also feel supported. While everybody is excited about returning to learn, one thing I had mentioned this morning to a parent was, I'm not referring to October 19th as the first day of school. It's the first day of in-person learning, but we've been in school at that point for 9 weeks. So learning is going to continue to occur. We'll switch our modality of how we go about that learning, but we'll definitely be ready to go. Again, remote learning will continue as a full-time option. That will continue. Our plan is approved through the first semester. So October 19th is the hybrid come back for group 1 and group 2, but remote learners will stay remote learners. They will simply follow their alpha slice for the class that they attend. Anything else to add on that, Mr. Edwards or Mr. Passetti?
No, I think you covered it nicely.
I don't.
Yeah.
Were you checking your email at that time, or like ordering something on Grubhub? You looked a little sidetracked. Was I boring?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I started to nod off just a little bit, but I was reading the comments on the side, and they all say thank you, because I think you're hitting a lot of the points that they were asking. So that was job well done on that one. Transitioning from that Wednesday and kids being in school and at home, Mr. Passetti, inside your department, and of course throughout the whole school, how will those kids be able to reach out and get that social and emotional support that they need? That's so crucial to well life here at school.
Sure. Obviously, 2020 has thrown a lot of challenges to everyone. Definitely stressful times, and there's nothing normal right now. So this is tough on families. It's tough on students, and we do have social emotional support available for students. If you go to our website and go to the Student Services Department or the Return to Learn, there's a link for both campuses, South and Central, where as a parent, you can make an appointment for your student, or as a student, you can make an appointment for yourself. It'll ask, obviously, who you are, what are your concerns, is it an emergency or not, and who would you like to speak to? Anywhere from our deans to our counselors, to our social workers, to our psychologists. And they will get back to you, and we will make an appointment, whether that's virtual, or if we need to bring you into the building, we can do that also. This is what we do. We are here to support students academically, and that social emotional piece is really crucial right now. We are definitely seeing more social emotional issues, which makes sense. Students are at home. Sometimes they're home alone. There's sometimes there's struggles at home, and like I said, 2020 has been a difficult year for a lot of people. So we are here to provide that social emotional support. Our deans and our counselors, if you have any academic issues, very good to reach out to. Our social workers and our psychologists, really they focus on that social emotional piece. They all do an awesome job. They're all here for the kids. So please use that. If you're not sure, make an appointment, and we'd be happy to have that conference with you. And then, whatever, maybe we meet weekly, whatever that takes. Depends on the student, depends on the needs. But keep that in mind. Even though you're remote or you come back hybrid, those services are here and they are offered for the families.
Great stuff. Moving on to the transitioning back to kids coming back into school, and for those who are staying home, talk about, and this can go for both of Dr. Zwimke and Mr. Passetti as well, but that self-certification process. We're getting a lot of questions like, how are they doing it? Where's the link located? All that kind of stuff. Do kids do it if they don't come to school? Talk a little bit about the self-certification process.
I can start that. So we would like students to start self-certifying ASAP for a couple reasons. First of all, I'll go back to all the students have been sent a weekly email of their login, and read the email carefully of how to log in and how to self-certify. It's very simple. And that self-certification really is a series of questions of how that student feels and have they really been around anyone who is COVID positive. That needs to be done for any student before they get on the bus or before they enter the school. So we would like students to start doing that as soon as possible for a couple reasons. Number one, to get in the habit of doing it. And number two, we look at all the self-certification. They're either going to come up with a green, kind of a green check mark where they can come to school. And when they get to school, they can show their phone and hey, I've self-certified. We can let them in the building. If they didn't self-certify, we will have to do that at the time where they get in the building. And that just takes a little more time. Our goal is to get students into the building and into the class, in an expedient manner, so we don't have groups of students together. If they self-certify and it comes up red, that student will have to stay home, and that student will be followed up with a call from someone at school. What are the next steps? What do we have to do? Our nurses, working with our nurses and our athletic trainer, we've been doing this for a while with a small group. So we're pretty well versed in kind of what to do and what our next steps are. So we would follow the Illinois Department of Public Health guidelines, the CDC guidelines. We work with the Grundy County Department of Health and, make decisions. What do we need to do? Our goal is to keep our school open and to keep everyone safe. And if a student is at home and they're marked red, it doesn't mean they can't still learn and learn remotely. They're just home for those safety reasons at that time. So we want students to start self-certifying as soon as possible. They've been sent a weekly email. So if the parents can certify them before they come in the school, that is going to be a tremendous help. There's a link on our website. I know that the Return to Learn plan, where they can also get the link there.
So something that we're thinking and makes the most sense. Like when I self-certified in the morning, like I did at 6:01 a.m. today, again before 7:30, is I'm walking in the building as a student with this green check mark. Yep. If a student doesn't have a phone and they self-certified at home, we would know that. We know who's green and we know who's red. Our research shows us that the great majority of students do have access to a smartphone and they bring them on a daily basis, but we'll work with families and know who those students are, perhaps with a printout or something along those lines on those issues that will come up over time. The conversations that I have had with area teachers, area principals on how these schools are staying open is their kids wear a mask every day. Their teachers wear a mask every day, unless they're, like right now we're in our offices. I go one step out of my office, I have a mask on. So everybody here is taking it very seriously. I know kids at other area schools, they're wearing their mask every day. They're social distancing. They're not walking shoulder to shoulder down the hallway. Everybody is staying to the right, as far to the right as possible. They're staying 6 feet apart. They're doing their self-certification. So we can stay open once we open for a long time if we follow those steps. And we want to get this thing going. I know our public wants us to be back. I know we all want to be back. We miss kids in our traditional way. For us to stay open as long as we possibly can, we need to wear a mask. We need to social distance. We need to be smart. We need to self-certify. And that has to happen every day.
Well said. So we are right now hitting about 16 minutes for everybody. We like to keep these around that 15 to 20 minute mark. So Dr. Swimke, if you see any of those questions along the side that we needed to answer, just want to remind everyone that this will be archived on our Facebook page that you can watch again for those who are missing it right now. And we do try to reach out to those people that we miss during the podcast and go one-offs. Feel free to always call Mr. Presetti or Dr. Swimke as well, or myself for a one-off question. I just want to make sure that everyone knows that we're available for those.
Sure. I do want to promote 2 items for next week from our activities office. We will be doing a talent show that's on October 1st. That's going to be streamed to YouTube. We have a drive-in movie night as well. Hey, what are we showing? Do you know?
I don't know that. Joe, do you know what that is?
I do know, but I can't recall at this point.
That's a great answer. It's Jumanji.
Jumanji.
I think it's the most recent Jumanji.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Dr. Swimke, about the talent show, you're opening it, I hear. What are you opening with?
This year, it's a little bit of a surprise. During quarantine, I learned how to be a ventriloquist. So it's going to be an act, and I'm looking forward to working with you on that one. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, Joe, is like Jumanji your type of movie, or are you more of like a Goonies guy? Like,
I enjoy both, Mr. Zwemke.
So, Goonies has been on my mind a lot lately because I was watching a video of a principal explaining to their students that they need to stay to the right when they're walking, and there's a scene in Goonies, if you recall, when Mikey goes downstairs and they're at that restaurant and she's screaming at him, stay to the right, stay to the right. And so now I have Mama Fratelli in my head thinking that, and I don't know, I think they're called GIFs or GIFs. I'm not sure, Brent, you're into the social media, but I almost want to have Mama Fratelli explain to the students how to walk in the hallway. That could work.
There may be a video coming shortly about that.
That's what I heard. Are you putting together a back to in-person learning video?
We certainly are. We're going to have some nice special guests on that video, and we're going to showcase how the process is coming in and what classes are going to look like in the hallways. It's going to be fun.
Awesome.
Yep. So you know what? Here we are. If you guys don't have any more closing words, comments, we are backed up against 20 minutes and just on our way out. I want to say again, thank you everybody for attending today's live Facebook and live YouTube session. And that's really all we have time for today. And I would like to thank our special guests again, Dr. Swimke and Mr. Joe Presetti, for all the insights and answers to some of the questions that they've had. And join us again, everybody, next week, same time, same channels, 2:00 next Thursday. And thank you again. I'm your host, Brent Edwards, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
See you later. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.